Okay guys, welcome back to another video. The footage that you guys are seeing right now is from the most recent time that I went to the track. The track that I was at is NHMX in Leominster, New Hampshire. We didn't actually get a whole lot of ride time in because my cousin and his friend actually crashed into each other, and then we had to leave, and there were some injuries that happened. Nothing life-threatening, but bad enough that, you know, we weren't going to stick around. First, the whole point of this video, that's just kind of the background thing. You'll see my cousin and his friend. I think, well, you'll see them riding in this video. One of them was on a 125 Husqvarna, and the other one was on a, my cousin was on his 85 Kawasaki two-stroke. Just so when you guys see them, I don't actually have footage of the crash, because I didn't have my GoPro running at the time, but yeah, that's just the background here. So what we're going to be talking about today is four-wheel parts and Maxxis tires, and their complete disregard for customer service or caring about their customers at all. Maxxis tires, this is the only bit that I'm going to say about them, is that it took them about 4.5 weeks for a turnover on a warranty claim for a tire. Now, if you guys have been following the channel, you already know that, but it took them about 4 weeks just to tell me something that I already knew, that my tire was defective. So with that being said, let's start at the beginning. So I bring my truck to get inspected, and my shop says, now I'm making this video on August 14th, okay? This was on like June 20th, alright? So it has been over 2 months at this point that this whole thing has been going on with these two companies. So I go get my truck inspected, and he's like, alright, you know, everything checks out, whatever. As you guys know, my truck is too tall, so I needed to install the receiver hitch on the back and, you know, make it to a legal height. So I do that, whatever. He's like, all right, your tire is defective. The bead inside the belts inside the tire are defective. Your tire's not round. That's what's causing your truck to pull to the left, and it's also causing it to hop up and down like crazy, which you guys remember I had complained about in previous videos. But you can't tell by looking at the tire that it's defective. But they said they took it for a test drive, and they came to the conclusion that that tire was not round like it should be because of the belts being defective. So what do? I go and I call Four Wheel Parts. This was toward the end of June. I don't have the actual date for that, but it was toward the end of June. So I called, and over the course of about 2 weeks, I had called them about 4 times, talked to 4 different people, talked to a manager. None of them would help me. So what I ended up doing at that point is I created a ticket. So basically, you can go online. You can email customer service instead of calling them. So I submitted a ticket, all right, on July 3rd. Shortly after that, I did get contacted on July 6th by one of their customer service representatives, and she kind of went through and found out what I had to do. Finally, after 2 weeks of trying to figure out what we had to do to get me a new tire, she comes back 2 weeks later and tells me to send my tire to Maxxis in Georgia so that they could do an inspection for the tire. So that was on July 10th is when I sent them the tire. So July 10th, they got the tire about 3 days later, so July 13th. Now we're looking at August 14th. So the tire had been with them for about a month, and just for them to tell me, hey, you know, your tire is defective, like I had already known. So they have my tire, whatever else. I called them pretty much every single week on Friday to get an update. So the first couple weeks they were like, yeah, you know, it's still being looked at, it's still being inspected is what they called it. So my tire is being inspected. 4 weeks later, they're like, all right. I call them and they're like, okay, so the inspection's done and we'll find out by the end of this week if you're going to get compensation for it or whatever. And they wouldn't tell me what they found. They wouldn't tell me what they found. They were just like, you'll know by the end of the week, whatever. I called them and nobody answered the phone. So then I ended up, this was on a Friday. Like I said, I called them every single Friday. So I called them and it was actually after hours when I called them because I got out of work late. So I called them again on Monday and they said by the end of the week that I'd know what was going on. So then at the end of the week, I called them again and they told me that they had sent 4 Wheel Parts a credit for the tire. So basically, for those of you that don't know how this works, Maxxis Tires is the supplier, they're the vendor, and 4 Wheel Parts is kind of the seller. So 4 Wheel Parts gets the tire from Maxxis because they're the manufacturer, and then they resell it. So 4 Wheel Parts buys the tire from Maxxis, and then they resell it to customers of 4 Wheel Parts. So Maxxis sent them a credit for the tire. This was exactly a week ago today. So I had called Maxxis and they said, yeah, you know, we sent them a credit. And I said, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and call 4 Wheel Parts. I called the same person that had been helping me before, the one that told me to send the tire back at 4 Wheel Parts. And she never answered her phone. And they were within business hours. I left her a message. And this was on Friday, and now it's Tuesday. So Friday came and went. The weekend came and went, which obviously they don't work on the weekend, so I did not expect to get a call back on the weekend. She should have called me Monday. She should have called me today, which is Tuesday, and she hasn't yet. So basically the point that I am at right now is I have ordered another tire out of pocket 2 months later for a simple warranty claim, and 4 Wheel Parts has my money still. And they've had my money for a week, and they have yet to give it back to me. Like, I don't know what is taking these people so long that it takes 2 months, 2 whole months, over 2 months at this point, to find out how to do a warranty claim on a tire and to get me my money back. I still do not have my money back. And 4 Wheel Parts has had my money for a week. And I know that because I called Maxxis and asked them about it, and they said that they gave them my money. So that's the point that we're at right now. I have ordered another tire out of pocket because 4 Wheel Parts refuses to give me my money back, and they are not returning my phone calls. So this video is kind of an open letter to 4 Wheel Parts. Now Maxxis, I don't really have any issues with Maxxis because they are just the supplier of the tire. Their process for inspecting the tire takes way too long, okay? 4 weeks to inspect a tire is just absolutely outrageous. And I was told originally that it would take about a week to 2 weeks, and it took 4. So, I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. All right, even 2 weeks, like a week, okay, 2 weeks is pretty pushing it. All right, 4 weeks is absolutely absurd. Now, what originally happened too is they had me send the tire back, which means that my truck has been sitting outside of my house for the last 2 months with no tire on it because they can't just send me a new one and then take the other one back and do their inspection and whatever else. They have to actually have me send them the tire so that they can inspect it, make me wait for 2 months, and basically just give the money back to 4 Wheel Parts, and then 4 Wheel Parts refuses to answer my phone calls or call me back. So that's where we're at right now. I've ordered another tire. Hopefully 4 Wheel Parts will see this video. Now, I'm not asking you guys to go and bash them on any kind of social media outlets, but if that is what you choose to do, then that is what you choose to do. I can't really stop you. Anyway, I do not recommend buying anything from 4 Wheel Parts ever again. I will never buy a single thing from them because their customer service is just that bad. 2 months, over 2 months for a warranty claim on one tire. That is absolutely freaking horrible. That is just absurd. Absolutely absurd. So, that's where we're at right now. I'll keep you guys updated as to, you know, if they end up giving me my money back, or if they end up sending me another tire, which I've already bought one at this point. If they had told me that it was going to take 2 months, like, I'm sure that they damn well knew that it was going to take that long, I would have bought a tire 2 months ago instead of just yesterday, because I was expecting it to take 2 weeks, which would be okay, not 2 months. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any other horror stories with companies that people should steer clear from, make sure to leave those in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video, probably with an update. Now, my tire is going to be here soon. My new one that I've purchased out of pocket should be here soon, so I'll be able to put that back on the truck and continue with my whatever I want to continue with. Making videos, going four-wheeling, doing whatever else. Alright, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching.